see a change, you gotta be the change. Shine your light, stand up for the right, and let's unite as we all come together as a spiritual family. Let's unite as we all come together on this caravan of unity.
Yes, indeed, the caravan of unity. May peace prevail on earth. Peter Melton here with Ben Bowler. Hello, my friend and peace pole advocate. How goes it?
It's great, Peter, to be with you on Global Peace Pole Day. It's wonderful to be here. And we're going to take a trip down recent memory lane on the Caravan of Unity across America.
Yeah, boy, the peace poles played such an important part, and they were just foundation everywhere we went. And there's your peace pole up. Here's one of the beautiful little desktop ones. And our friend Fumi John Stewart and the organization there, just amazing. Now really amping it up with this Global Peace Pole Day, November 22, first annual. And it's beautiful to be part of the program here.
You bet, you bet. Very, very exciting. Congratulations to everyone at May Peace Prevail on Earth International.
Yes, and the Caravan of Unity teamed up so neatly, and let's go through the pictures of what happened.
You want to go to full screen? Hit full screen on that on your thing there.
September. Okay, there we go. How about that?
Yeah, your beauty.
That's where
Grace
we started,
Cathedral.
right there at Grace Cathedral, the kickoff of the Caravan of Unity, and there's Fumi with the indigenous flag, and Mike Mulda, may peace prevail on earth, and we kicked it off there at the park across the street and set up the peace pole there and got ready and just prepared ourselves for this beautiful day. And there's all the flags lined up. And there's our friend.
It was such an amazing and powerful, beautiful opening in the park there with Fumi and Jotima. It was really sacred and powerful, and the flags and of course the peace pole really anchored the whole thing, as they did the whole way across America with the Caravan of Unity. Carried them all across the continent, Peter.
They sure did. And there's the setup completed there as we finished up in San Francisco. Went inside for this amazing concert performance. Gary Malkin and the team. In fact, Fumi gave Gary a beautiful peace pole. He was so honored as they connected. There it is. Tell us, Ben.
Caravan of Unity was a pilgrimage to Peace Weekend 2020. And yeah, it started there in San Francisco and then down to LA and just across the United States. Obviously, we had to adapt because of the changes in 2020, but you, Peter, and the Mulder brothers and everyone involved just did an incredible job. Hubcast Media were extraordinary. Everybody involved. It was a real miracle of convergence and teamwork to pull this off. And as you said, the peace poles played a starring role the whole way across.
Yeah, that and the rent-a-truck and trailer took us across the country. That's when we hooked up with Mike and Chris, and the peace poles loaded in the back of the truck. And boom, before we know it, we made it to Pato and Antoinette's house. There we are in their studio with Chris and Mike Mulda. And there's the peace poles arriving.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful.
The next event was, of course, the moment of choice.
Yes, the launch of the book. There is Agape Church with Reverend Michael Beckwith. That was amazing. And the Evolutionary Leaders book, Our Moment of Choice. Incredible essays, important, timely, visionary work.
Yeah, and the peace pole was in the background there for Pato and Antoinette, and then is getting planted in their backyard there. And then Pato hooked us up with the next step in the adventure on to Henderson, Nevada, and their friend Gard Jameson. We got to Gard's house, and there was a peace pole already waiting for us. So we knew we were in the right place.
That's right. That's right. This is at the synagogue there in Nevada, at Ner Tamid Synagogue, hosting the Caravan of Unity. An amazing event, actually, with a Muslim leader, a Jewish leader, of course, Christian leaders, and Pato, the music. Beautiful interfaith event put on by Gard and the team there of the Nevada interfaith community.
Yeah, and quickly on to Carbondale, Colorado. And there's Rita and Connie and myself at the blessing and the giving of the peace pole. And it was always such just a foundational boom moment at each of these events as the peace pole landed and held space for everybody.
May peace prevail on us.
Yeah, that line, which is of course the main line in all different languages on the peace poles, living there, and again just spearheading the visual of all of the different stages that we had.
Rita Marsh.
Yeah. And we move on. And this is Anita Sanchez's husband carrying in the peace pole. And Anita.
Oh,
and
that's a great photo. That's a great photo. Look at that. Beautiful.
Yeah, the view
Beautiful
from
photo.
their home was just epic, as you see there with Karuna bringing the musical treats. And again, just the peace pole making that claim so boldly. And we move on from there into Nebraska, and Fumi sent Julie her peace pole and flag ahead of time. So they were ready to go
Really
to the
cool.
river. Yeah, and off to the blessing at the river there. It was quite
Powerful.
a sacred
Very
ceremony.
powerful.
Again,
Yeah, beautiful. And then obviously finishing up in the Opera House there in Minden. That was amazing. You're there in the Minden Opera House with the peace pole. Beautiful performance. Shelley Darling, everybody put on such a great show. Good of the whole, and Dr. Julie Krull and everything that happened there. Look at that stage there with the flags of one family flying there. And then on to St. Louis and Ferguson and Marty and Pookie and Karen, and look at them go. With amazing, events there. Marty got an award from the local chief of police. You can see that happening there. The Black Sunday art behind it, and the peace pole again taking prominence. Look at that in Ferguson.
Yeah, and now they've planted the peace pole just in the grass over by the sidewalk by where that black truck is where the peace pole got formally planted in Ferguson. That was a powerful event for everyone.
I look forward to going there one day and seeing it. There's so much goodness just happened and sprouted along the way because of the communities rising to meet the Caravan of Unity. Really beautiful.
There's the mayor. There's the mayor joining us in the photo and the painting from the Black Sunday as we moved into Chicago. And here we are presenting the peace pole in Chicago at the Baha'i Temple.
Yes, with Nina and Nina Patrick and Joseph and everybody there. The super convergence in Chicago, so much happened over that 1 or 2 days in Chicago. It was amazing. We're going to have to move through this, Peter. This was such a powerful.
So then we got to iGrow there in Chicago, and they already had a peace pole out front as well. So we knew we were welcome. And there it is Joseph and Nina give an award for Marty and Linda. And we moved on to Philadelphia. And right on time. It was just every time we set up a new thing, it was the peace pole was grounding it again, like you see there in the background as all the details are getting set up. And then this just epic in Joni's backyard.
Yeah, Joni Carly with Chief Dwayne Perry, and that was amazing. The prayers for America. You can get a sense of the vibes from this photo with the fire and the pole in the evening and the birds singing in the background, and prayers from America pouring in from literally around the world. Isn't it interesting in Philadelphia, which ended up being playing such a pivotal role just a month or so later in the U.S. election. But very, 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 very powerful moment.
That picture there was just an epic shot. And we move on from there. We get to go to Stony Point, and there's the beautiful Stony Point, New York embassy.
Yes, the First Nations embassy of Chief Dwayne Perry. And what an incredible historic moment, Peter, that was. You were to be there at all of these moments to open up the First Nations embassy at Stony Point.
And inside there, here we are inside there with the La Bafana gang and Jack from the Caravan and Chief
Jack, La Bafana. That's a good one.
So then we were on to New York for the International Day of Peace, and there's the Mulder brothers from Creative Minds right there in front of the flags. And of course, our friends.
New York, baby. There it is. But that's it, Monica and David there at the UN Chapel where the whole Road to 2020 started. Such a beautiful, powerful kind of closing moment. Of course, it wasn't the end of the caravan, but it was closing a cycle.
Yep, then Dear Becky in Raleigh, North Carolina had a beautiful event, and they were also greeted by another peace pole and brought some animals into the story, and those were the only animals we had in the ceremonies there. It was quite beautiful. And then we go to DC, and here's Fumi and Bob unloading the van in DC. And then all the stuff we brought out had to be sniffed by the security dog. So had to get those. So I guess we did get one other animal in the story.
There you go.
Here we are. We set up in front of the Lincoln Memorial. And it's like, once the peace pole's down, we think we know what's going on. But there's like 80% chance it was supposed to rain on us that day as we were preparing, as you see there. But sure enough, we were able to get all the U.S. flags and And again, there's the peace pole.
There it is. Beautiful. Right at the front of the Lincoln Memorial with all the flags of the world and the indigenous flag flying high, and may peace prevail on earth, presented every single step of the way. There's Marty K. Casey delivering her thunderous presentation on the just in front of the steps of the Lincoln Memorial.
Yep, and Adam there sending it away with this beautiful song he sang, and just held space so wonderfully at that whole event, as the flags for first the 50 United States and then all the flags of all the countries presented. The weather held for us all day, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful event all the way around.
Absolutely. That little piece of music was very, very haunting. And I'm trying to remember the instrument that Adam plays, but it's escaping me right now.
Starts with a C, Cucho,
Yeah.
something like that.
But it was great. It was great. Every step of the way, music and prayers and ceremony and a prayer for peace right across the United States in September 2020. Anchored by you, Peter, and the Mulder brothers.
That was beautiful to get to go through that again with you, Ben, and with all of you watching, to get a little flavor of the Caravan of Unity, and may peace prevail here on the first annual Global Peace Pole Day, November 22. Thank you so much, Fumi, and the whole organization. And beautiful to be with you all.
Yeah, and congratulations, Fumi, and everybody involved in Japan and all around the world. We're so grateful for the legacy of the peace poles and what they represent. May peace prevail on earth.
May peace prevail on earth.
Welcome to our mobile Turtle Hut of Consciousness. I'm Noel Marshall.
And I'm Bob Warner. And together we call ourselves
LightPartners. We want to tell you about a very special event that we had in 2012. We were inspired by our teacher, futurist, and dear friend Barbara Marks Hubbard to go to all 48 states in Canada and talk about conscious evolution and the Birth 2012 event on December 22nd, 2012. And we took with us a very special guest. Bob?
Our special guest was a peace pole. We had peace in our hearts on our 20,000-mile journey, and we had a great desire for peace in the United States and North America and peace on earth. So we took our peace pole with us. Check this out. This is the classic 6-foot, 4-language peace pole. Wondering how we set it up every place we stopped?
Well, follow us and we'll show you that in just a moment.
Remember, we can plant peace poles and we can also transplant peace poles.
So we hope you enjoyed our little video there. And we want to let you know that recently we established our home, a base for sacred activism here in Bristol, Tennessee. And we decided to memorialize our peace pole. And Bob's going to show you how easy it is to do.
This is how easy it is to install this classic model. It's a 4x4 pressure treated post sunk into some concrete. You slip this right over the top and you are done. Just like that. Boom.
So as you can see, this is probably a little bit too big to fit in our suitcase. So we have a solution. There are many different sizes and shapes of peace poles, and you can even select the languages. This fits in my suitcase. This goes with us everywhere.
So you can learn more about peace poles at worldpeace.org and order them right there. So happy Global Peace Pole Day,
and may peace prevail on earth.
Aloha mai kākou, e nā hoa manakihi e hao ka honua nei, e kōkeo nei a pau aloha. Aloha, we are Mãunuunu, and we are a traditional Hawaiian dance group here in Puna on the island of Hawaii. We are really glad to be able to join with you folks today all around the world in celebration of World Peace Pole Day. And from Puna, we send our aloha out to all of you gathering with us in celebration of world peace, to all the peace poles that have been planted near and far. We send our aloha. We come from a long line of ritual dancers here on this island that have carried, in particular, one story in our bodies for many generations. And it is the story of the volcanic nature of this very landscape. Tonight we are dancing for you actually on the slopes of Kilauea, in the forest nonetheless, but on one of the world's most active volcanoes. And it is here that every so often Pele visits us in the form of an eruption. And you may think that living in this kind of a landscape brings a lot of uncertainty to life, and it does. But it turns out that Pele and living in her environment teaches us a lot that we think is quite related to world peace, in fact. One of the things that we learn after going through many eruptions over the course of many generations is that perhaps the only way to live here in a world that is always changing in a peaceful manner is to do so cooperatively, to work together as humans and with the more than human environment, our ancestral environment also, and to live with generosity on a limited island where the ground cracks open and changes several times every lifetime. We really hold on to the value of generosity. And that's how we make it through. And that's the kind of culture that has developed here. And these are the stories that we have to share with you today. Turns out when Pele comes, she doesn't come alone. That the creation of new land also inspires all kinds of healing and all kinds of growth and makes way for the possibility of all kinds of new life, including us living here on this island. So today we have just a small handful of pieces to share with you that are ways for us to remember this story, to keep it alive in our lives, and to share it across the world. The first mele or poem that we introduce to you in the form of oli or Hawaiian chant is a small piece of a longer migrational chant that brings Pele in her traditional journey all the way from Tahiti to Hawaii. The second dance is in her honor, and it describes in vivid detail all the various phenomena that accompany her visit when the volcano erupts. The next dance, called Kawaimu Ki, is a dance of the forest and is dedicated to her sister, Hi'iaka Ikapoli o Pele, who is a goddess of healing, a goddess of compassion. And then the last dance we offer for you today is a dance called Akauku, And it talks about a relationship between Pele and a particular lover that came into her sphere named Kamapua'a. And the two are very complementary elements in our landscape. Pele being the fire, Kamapua'a being certain kinds of rain, Pele being the creation of new land, and Kamapua'a being the breakdown of that land into fertility. And we do this dance in honor of balance, in honor of harmony, and how finding the balance between all of our different counterparts, all of the different ways and gifts that we have to contribute to life on this earth, finding the harmony of all of our purposes can help give way to world peace. So again, aloha from Puna, Hawaii. We are Mãunuunu, and my name is Ryan McCormick, and I am the kumuhula of this Halau hula.
O apele ke kuno kai inana I o ole rei ka poha kani ke ike kai ki mo kune wa ula nai la ko pili alo ko pili no al ka vei kala ni ne ita onu ya esa ne ta mo ai o ai ka ita la ni na pere te ai te a ne I ki la we Waka kani hoa kia kua, ai po hapua hau mea kia kua, hele ea pomo I ka hale o pere, ua buhai wa itai I la pau I la pere, eli kamai ai. Mai kai ki kawai ni o pere, mai kai ki kawai ni o pere, mai kai mai pora pora, mai ka pura pura kani, mai ke ora mai kan, mai ko kua mai kai mai kai ki. Mai kai nai pora pora, mai ka pura pura kani, mai ke ora mai kan, mai ko kua mai kai mai kai ki kawai ni o pere, mai kai nai pora pora, mai ka pura pura kani, mai ke ora mai kan, mai ko kua mai kai ai, oa kani nawe honua, hai 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 When May peace prevail on earth. E Mãunuunu Mãunuunu Kamonua.
I trust all of you are enjoying Global Peaceful Day. And now it gives me great pleasure and honor to introduce to you Hereditary Chief Phil Lane Jr. from the Ihanktawa and Chickasaw Nations to share with you a sacred, peaceful journey which took place to Whitestone Hill in North Dakota.
So on August 28th, 2020, a group of very dedicated relatives from Standing Rock and others began a journey to remember and honor our relatives and the atrocity that was committed by General Alfred Sully. But not just to pray for our relatives, they came also to pray for those who had also lost their lives from the soldiers' part, and to pray and to pray for peace, and to pray that the state of South Dakota and to pray the state of North Dakota will change some of the historical realities of what they have purported to happen. So they begin to ride to this place. And there you see, of course, again, here's a soldier with his bugle blowing over those soldiers that have been lost, but really no recognition to the hundreds of our relatives who were lost. This symbol, the white albino buffalo at the top of the sacred peace pole, also has red, yellow, black, and white from Black Elk's vision of our human family coming together. this prophecy of this albino white buffalo comes from the Ahanktua people, Hihawa Chasha Oyate, but also through the relationship that was developed between the Hunkpapas and the Ihanktua through the adoption of my great-grandfather, Tipi Sapa, by PZ Chief Gall. We made this relationship. So this prophecy is all interconnected to all the prophecies across the Americas that foretold after a long wintertime, we would arise, we would go through this wintertime. And so this prophecy of the white buffalo, the prophecy of the reunion of the condor and the quetzal and the eagle, so many other prophecies, they're all interrelated, just like a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weaving of spiritual meaning. Beautiful, these peace poles, they have them both in Dakota language, Lakota language, and please just share through. Just let us go on through. And I'll speak as the slides go by. Yeah, wonderful. So wonderful. In 4 years, our Japanese relatives are going to come from Japan to witness this. They're writing. You know, they said told me when they were writing, they were told me when they were writing, Tanashi Valni said the ancestors were with them because we know all our ancestors are closer than our closest vein. And of course, he loved horses. In fact, in the words of the generals who fought against us, we were the finest light cavalry in the world. Not, by the way, this is about fighting. We loved horses and love horses and become one with horses. And you got one of the best with Tanashi Valni, fast horse. Here they come. And the relatives are praying, even though they can't be there, they're praying. Are there for their victory in making this ride back to renew the hoop, the sacred hoop. This peace pole is given with great love and respect to the Ahanktawan Hunkpapa nations of the Ocheti, Shikoan, and our human family of Turtle Island from the people of Japan. In honor of the 150th anniversary of the Whitestone Hill Massacre, this peace pole is sent with our heartfelt prayers for the healing of souls, the healing of nations throughout our Mother Earth. May peace prevail on earth, September 3rd, 2020. Many, many of our indigenous people across the Americas and around the world do things in sets of four. That's why Carl Jung came with the concept of quaternity, things come in fours. So this is something not taken lightly. When relatives who have suffered so much make an offer of peace from Hiroshima, other relatives, this is taken with great honor, respect, and prayer. And for instance, when we are sharing a sacred pipe, it's so sacred that the first 3 times you offer, the person will put their hands up like this. And then on the fourth, take it, not being disrespectful, saying, I'm really thinking about this. So as we speak, I know every morning, evening, all the time, there's prayers with that sacred pole. And again, it'll be carried this next September 3rd, 2021. More people will come. Then September 3rd, 2022, I'll be there. Then September 3rd, 2024, when we look forward to welcoming relatives coming from the great nation, the great people of Japan, especially those peace warriors, those spiritual warriors who know how tough, no matter how tough it is, it's time for forgiveness, reconciliation, and to give thanksgiving and realize nothing has come to us from our beloved Creator, and to remember that nothing has come to us in our lives, collectively or individually, except for our own spiritual perfecting.
Thank you, Brother Phil, so much for sharing with us the story. It's a story still in the making. As you mentioned, we have 4 more years to bless this peace pole. Our brother Volney and his relatives will be blessing and praying around this peace pole for the next 4 years. And in 4 years, our relatives from Hiroshima have said they would love to be with you to dedicate this peace pole for the healing of all nations. So we look forward to that. And my love to you and appreciation for being with us today on Global Peace Pole Day. It's so important to add this piece from Turtle Island, from the ancestors of Turtle Island, the importance of unity, coming together with one heart, one mind for the healing of nations and healing of souls. And your story is just will live with us for the next 4 years. So thank you so much, Brother Phil. Infinite gratitude, and may peace prevail on earth.
Hi, I'm Jay Reed, and I live right here as the International Peacekeeper Liaison for Southfield, Michigan. And we'd like to thank you for allowing Southfield to join this wonderful organization with all of our brothers and sisters under the name of Peace. We are proud to share with everyone our established peace poles that have been placed for residents and visitors far and wide to see. Earlier this month, we were able to host a ceremony recognizing that our city is taking an initiative to promote peace right here in the United States of America with this program. So we'd like to thank you so much, because when people come here, they'll be able to look at our proud peace poles and say that peace shall prevail on earth. Thank you.
Hi, friends. I am so happy to be with you on this Peace Pole Celebration Day event. And I'm so grateful to Fumi for always bringing us together. So I'm going to play a video if I can do a share screen real quick, and then we'll come back together. Take up one idea. Make that idea your one life. Think of it. Live on your idea. My name is Renee Marie. I serve as an officer in the United States Army Medical Service Corps. At the age of 13, the idea of peace filled my heart. In 1999, I visited the World Peace Sanctuary in New York and stood before the universal message of peace. May peace prevail on earth, inscribed on over 200 7-foot peace poles, each one dedicated to a sovereign nation. I was called to make this one idea of world peace my life direction. I remember these like it was just yesterday. There's Fumi. Wow, so many peace poles, so many peace pole warriors. We are in a very large family of peace pole gifters and dedicators, protectors.
Actually, who are you not to be?
Let me turn off the background now so I can actually see you guys. There we go. So, you know, to inspire one another to continue to do the work of the peace pole is also a way to maintain our own internal inspiration, right? Because we're all experiencing a lot of negativity in the world, and it really doesn't matter what generation you came up in, there was always some negativity and positivity moving through the world and your own life, and those before us and those coming after us. So it's not that we're in any special time to be sharing peace polls, but it's still a very important time, isn't it? Because some people feel that we're actually on the cusp of making a huge shift. And so my belief is that if we share the universal message of hope on the peace poll, on school campuses, that we can actually start to make a culture of peace, which is internalized by our future leaders. So after I visited the World Peace Sanctuary in 1999, I decided that my mission at that time would be to do that very thing, which is to put a peace poll on a school campus, at least one every year. And for most years since 1999, I've been on track with that. As you could see from the video, I have spent time in the military. So one of the highlights of my work as a volunteer World Peace Ambassador was that I was able to gift and dedicate several peace polls in Afghanistan, thanks to the World Peace Sanctuary sending them to me while I was deployed to Kabul, Afghanistan. And so the gift to the Marifat School was actually a dedication that we held on the International Day of Peace. So can you imagine what that felt like to be there in uniform, in service to peace? But it can be very confusing to, people watching that. In fact, an elder came onto the stage in Afghanistan with a small handwritten note. He wasn't invited on stage, but he took his moment. He took a risk. He came up and he was shaking and he handed me this little note. And it said, "Ma'am, first, you welcome here. Next, in uniform, or if ambassador for peace, why in uniform?" So what I want to convey to all of you today on this call is that whatever your uniform is, whatever your mission, your calling, your duty, if you can always come back to the universal message of peace and hope, it's my hope that it will continue to fuel your inspiration to find a way to inspire future generations, because that's really the call. It's to leave the world a better place than we found it. And all of us can do that. I know that if you're on this call, you're already doing it. If you want to join my mission, look for Peace Polls for Schools on Facebook. And that's a way for you to say, hey, I'm not sure how I want to insert myself in the peace poll work. Check out our Facebook page. I'm working with another peace warrior here in my area. I'm in Sacramento. She's in Folsom, about 30 minutes away. We're about to put a peace poll on every public school campus in Sonoma County, working with the Rotary and also Veterans for Peace. So those two entities in Sonoma have seen our Facebook page, Peace Polls for Schools. And when I went to an annual Veterans for Peace convention, I made a connection with someone who just felt that it was absolutely imperative that every school in his county have a peace poll. So that's my story about my affection and dedication for the universal message of hope. May peace prevail on earth. And I am dedicated to putting peace polls on school campuses. Thank you for being here together as one. We are never alone, and we can and do inspire one another. Thank you so much, everyone. May peace be in you. May peace prevail on earth.
Hello again, and happy Global Peace Poll Day. And here I'm so thrilled to have Danielle Sato. She is a long-time member of May Peace Prevail on Earth International, and she's such an inspiration planting peace poles, encouraging people to plant peace poles, and she's just a treasure for our movement. So I'm really thrilled to have her here today to talk about an amazing project that she coordinated that culminated in the planting of 700 peace poles across the United States. So I'd like to introduce to you Danielle Sato. Danielle, just say a few words of greetings to our viewers.
Hi, this is Danielle. I'm so happy to see you, everyone. And then also I'm so happy to introduce this wonderful project. The many beautiful stories. So much touching in my experiences.
So thank you so much, Danielle, for being with us. And before we start our conversation, I'd like to share with you this video. And we know that pictures tell a million stories. So here you go.
More than 800 members of May Peace Prevail on Earth International and sister organization Byakko Shinkokai in Japan, along with supporters across the U.S., donated 700 peace poles to be planted in the United States of America in 1996. The 700 peace poles were distributed throughout the 50 U.S. states based on the population density of each area. The late Mr. Amy, senior cosmonic science member of Byakko Shinkokai, initiated the project, and I, Danielle Sato, coordinated the project in the U.S. It was most wonderful activity in planting peace and building bridges between the culture of Japan and the U.S. So many warm-hearted advocates for peace came together in the spirit of unity and peace. The deep experiences and relationships continue to live on in our heart as living treasure never be forgotten.
Well, Danielle, what an extraordinary project you coordinated. And watching this video, I'm sure a lot of memories are flowing into your heart, and you're quite emotional now thinking about all the
Very
experience.
much.
So let me begin by asking, I'm sure you have a lot of stories to tell about this project, but let me begin by asking you what the peaceful means to you.
You know, peaceful with this message, may peace prevail on earth, gives me love, peace of mind, and harmonious energy. Peaceful is acupunctured earth to heal.
And just think how many acupuncture needles you have planted across the United States for the work of healing. It's just tremendous. Thank you so much, Danielle, for being with us today. Do you have any closing words for us?
Well, so much memories start coming. My eyes just getting a little watery. It's just I never forgotten those messages and the activities that I have experienced. This is my treasure. Thank you so much for everyone, and thank you everyone who participated in this project. I'm sure everyone's so happy to see that. Thank you again.
Yes, I'm so glad we were able to honor you, your project, and all those people that contributed. And I'm sure many of them are watching today and feel, join you in your emotions and your love for this project. So thank you so much, Danielle. And let's close together by saying, together, may peace be in the United States of America. May peace prevail on earth. Together. May
May
peace
peace
be
in the United States of America. May peace prevail on earth.
And Adam is the foundation of peace. And this nation of peace is this is their foundation from this mountaintop. And before you could ever walk in peace, there needs to be an inner peace with yourself first. So before you try to find peace with anybody, find peace with yourself. That's usually the key to just about everything that is. If you want to, don't try to understand anybody until you understand yourself first. Don't try to even love anybody if you haven't learned to love yourself. So with this peace, learn the art of peace, and it comes from within first.